Ultimate happiness? What is that? All of us want to be happy. It's a different matter, though, that the definition of happiness varies from person to person. Even the same person may experience happiness differently at different times. At various stages in our lives, we derive happiness from different things. Early on in our life, our happiness was largely physical. A child may start deriving happiness just by being fed, cuddling close to its mother, playing with toys, etc. But as it grows physically as well as intellectually, it shifts more and more towards happiness derived through intellectual pursuits. Is there something beyond physical and intellectual happiness? Apparently, there is. For want of a better word, I call it spiritual happiness. That happiness is neither derived through physical means nor through intellectual indulgence. It is not dependent on any physical object, nor is it merely a mental pleasure. As we move on in pursuit of spiritual happiness, we look for higher and higher realms of spiritual happiness. Is there something called ultimate happiness? Is that happiness same for everyone or does it differ from person to person? If it doesn't, then can everyone get it? What is the way to go about experiencing that ultimate happiness? What are the prerequisites, if any? What makes us a better candidate to attain that ultimate happiness? These are the some of the questions that we are going to discuss in this book. I'm going to base these discussions on one of the most well known of the ancient Indian scriptures, namely the Bhagavad Gita. There are hundreds of books written on this philosophic text almost in every language of the world. More than as a religious text, the Bhagavad Gita is often viewed as a book on human psychology. Even if we strip it off from the religious context, we can see lot of ideas in this great marvelous book that are relevant to us even to this day. The book gives a closer look at how humans behave under different situations, why they undergo stress, and how they can come out of such stressful conditions. And last but not the least, how one can attain the ultimate happiness. Bhagavad Gita uses the word yoga in a wide connotation. Though each of the 18 chapters in this book are titled as some yoga or the other, the word yoga is mostly used to mean a path. The book starts off with the mental turmoil of the great Indian warrior Arjuna, who is confused about what is right for him to fight or not to fight. Krishna, Arjuna's friend, philosopher, and guide, helps Arjuna to come out of this mental turmoil by analyzing various alternatives and paths, all of which leading to happiness and freedom from stress. So, in a way, it's a book heavily steeped in psychoanalysis. I'm going to look at this book mostly from this point of view. To me, the dramatic setting of Bhagavad Gita and its religious undertones are of secondary importance. I'm going to discuss mostly the psychoanalytical aspects of it and various paths it suggests to help anyone who wants to attain the ultimate happiness. What that ultimate happiness is, we will see as we discuss various paths. And not surprisingly, though the paths are different, the ultimate happiness is one and the same. We will see how towards the end. It is almost a foregone fact that no two of us are identical in all respects, neither physically nor mentally. So, naturally, we have different ways of looking at the same problem. So, also, different ways of attaining the ultimate happiness, even if we accept that that happiness is the same for all. Before we talk about these various ways of attaining this ultimate happiness, it is prudent that we first understand ourselves better and the reason why each one of us is different. Bhagavad Gita spells out the reasons why we are different and what the consequences are. Why are we different? All of us have a body which are more or less similar in the sense that they are all made up of similar material elements. Our brains are also structured in more or less similar fashion. But the fact is that no two of us are identical in all respects, or shall we say, in any respect. What makes us different? The psychologists say that it is our genetic makeup and our upbringing and environment that makes us different. But is that all? Is there any fundamental part of our being that makes us so different from each other? Ancient Indian philosophers pondered over this natural phenomenon that evades simple reasoning. They tried to trace the origins of this diversity to some basic causes. Is there something most basic common factor across all beings? Can we explain the diversity in terms of variations in these basic factors? These are some of the questions they asked. And interestingly, ancient Indian Sankhya philosophers did come up with the most basic factors that makes each one of us different. They try to explain everything in terms of three fundamental factors called sattva, rajas and tamas. These three factors, which they called guna, not only make us different, but also the root cause of existence of the material world itself. In that respect, they are subtler than any genetic encoding that we can talk about. The Sankhya also talked about individual souls that liven up the otherwise inert material bodies. All of us are a combination of body and soul. While our bodies are material in nature, our souls are non material. Bodies are insentient, while the souls are sentient. While our material bodies are influenced by the three basic factors or guna, the soul left to itself is unaffected by these factors. But when the body and the soul come together, the soul also gets influenced by these three guna. Though these ancient concepts may look speculative, the inferences that are based on their theory is something that we can perceive in our day-to-day experience. The Bhagavad Gita relies heavily on this Sankhya theory of basic factors or guna. It explains how these guna make people different. It also explains how different people need different paths to reach their destination, namely attainment of ultimate happiness. The Bhagavad Gita says that sattva, rajas and tamas are the basic factors or guna that we inherit from nature or prakriti. Though the soul is completely free from these factors, a person who is a combination of body and soul gets influenced by these factors. Sattva, rajas and tamas are the qualities inherited from the nature. These qualities blind the soul, which is otherwise blemishless.
Sattvam rajasthamaiति guna prakriti sambhavaah nibaddanti mahabaho dehe dehi namavyayam.
To listen to the complete audiobook, please click the link given below in the description. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get notified on future books. Thank you.